Lieutenant Samuel Johnson Clayton. Mighty impressive.
Wow. The prodigal...
Interesting facts about famous people.
Top 10 Ward Bond Western movies. Arguably, John Wayne's best friend and colleague, Bond and Wayne started out around the same time in westerns. Bond was always there in many westerns, especially Wayne's. Today, we will take a look at 10 western movies Ward was in. He always seemed to come to mind as one of the best and most loved character actors in the western genre. If you enjoyed this video, take a look at my channel for many more. The link is in the description. Don't forget to share with your friends. The Searchers, 1956. Director, John Ford. Cast, John Wayne, Jeffrey Hunter, Natalie Wood. Ward Bond, Reverend Captain Samuel Johnson Clayton. In this revered western, Ethan Edwards, John Wayne, returns home to Texas after the Civil War, when members of his brother's family are killed or abducted by Comanches. Quote, Reverend Clayton, "Well, the prodigal brother, when did you get back? Ain't seen you since the surrender. Come to think of it, I didn't see you at the surrender." Wagon Master, 1950. Director, John Ford. Cast, Ben Johnson, Joanne Drew, Ward Bond as Elder Wiggs. When a group of Mormons are run out of town for their religious beliefs, Elder Wiggs, Ward Bond, searches for a wagon master to guide the outcasts to the San Juan Valley. Quote, Elder Wiggs, "Keep your shirt on, son. Your face looks honest to me, even if it is homely." Fort Apache, 1948. Director, John Ford. Cast, John Wayne, Henry Fonda, Shirley Temple. Ward Bond as Sergeant Major Michael O'Rourke. Deep into the territory of the great Apache chief, Cochise, the demoted Civil War General, Lieutenant Colonel Owen Thursday, reports for duty as a commanding officer at the remote U.S. cavalry outpost known as Fort Apache, along with his daughter, Philadelphia. Quote, Michael O'Rourke, "During the war, I was a major in the 69th New York Regiment, the Irish Brigade, sir." Gone with the Wind, 1939. Director, Victor Fleming. Cast, Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh, Leslie Howard. Ward Bond as Tom, a Yankee captain. An American motion picture classic in which a manipulative woman and a roguish man conduct a turbulent romance during the Civil War and Reconstruction periods. Inspired acting by the greatest cast ever assembled, the screen's most exciting love story, the most talked about picture ever made. My Darling Clementine, 1946. Director, John Ford. Cast, Henry Fonda, Linda Darnell, Victor Mature. Ward Bond as Morgan Earp. In the middle of a long cattle drive, Wyatt Earp, Henry Fonda, and his brothers stop off for the night in the town of Tombstone. The next morning, they find their cattle stolen and one of their brothers murdered. The Earps have a score to settle with the Clanton family. Quote, Morgan Earp, "Don't mind if I do, Doc." Young Mr. Lincoln, 1939. Director, John Ford. Cast, Henry Fonda, Alice Brady, Marjorie Weaver, Ward Bond as John Palmer Cass. A fictionalized account of the early life of the American president as a young lawyer facing his greatest court case. In this account of his early law career in Illinois, Abraham Lincoln, Henry Fonda, is born into a modest log cabin. Quote, by John Palmer Cass, "I got a right to call myself anything I want, as long as it's my own name." Drums Along the Mohawk, 1939. Director, John Ford. Cast, Claudette Colbert, Henry Fonda, John Carradine, Ward Bond as Adam Hartman. Drums Along the Mohawk is loosely based on historical events, a central feature of the plot, the Battle of Oriskany, a pivotal engagement of the Saratoga campaign during the American Revolutionary War, in which a British contingent drove southward from Canada in an attempt to occupy the Hudson Valley and isolate Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts from the remaining colonies. 3 Godfathers, 1948. Director, John Ford. Cast, John Wayne, Pedro Armendariz, Harry Carey Jr. Ward Bond as Pearlie Buck Sweet. 3 rustlers, Bob Hightower, Pete, and the Abilene Kid, riding to Welcome, Arizona. The 3 rob the local bank, but the loot is lost when the Kid is shot and his horse falls. They flee into the desert on 2 horses, pursued by Sweet and his men in a buckboard. Desperate for water, in a covered wagon nearby lies a woman, Sweet's niece-in-law, who is in labour. While Pete helps with the delivery, the other 2 laboriously collect water from nearby cacti. The woman has a boy, whom she names Robert William Pedro Hightower, after her benefactors. Before dying, she exacts a promise from them to save him and be his godfathers. Tall in the Saddle, 1944. Director, Edwin L. Marin. Cast, John Wayne, Ella Raines, Audrey Long. Ward Bond as Judge Robert Garvey. Cowboy Rockland, John Wayne, rides into a dusty western township where he has been promised work on a ranch, but when he finds that his future boss has been gunned down, he's forced to find work. Tall in the Saddle was filmed on location at Agora Ranch in Agora, California, Lake Sherwood, California, RKO Encino Ranch in Encino, California, and Sedona, Arizona. Studio scenes were shot at RKO Studios in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California. Rio Bravo, 1959. Directed by Howard Hawks. Cast, John Wayne, Dean Martin, Ricky Nelson. Ward Bond as Pat Wheeler. When gunslinger Joe Burdette, Claude Akins, kills a man in a saloon, Sheriff John T. Chance, John Wayne, arrests him with the aid of the town drunk, Dude, Dean Martin. Quote, Pat Wheeler, a game-legged old man and a drunk. That's all you got? Thanks for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate likes and subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification button to get my new videos. Share with your friends. Drop me your comments. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Please take time to take a look at my Facebook page for new information.